Welcome to Full Frontal. I'm what's left of Samantha B. The defeat of Donald Trump was supposed to bring us a little bit of peace at the end of the year, but because 2020 is the messiest of bitches, it decided to drag out our elections for an extra 2 months, leaving America's future to hinge on one state.
Georgia is on everyone's mind with the Senate at stake.
Georgia on the mind.
I've got Georgia on my mind.
Georgia really on the mind this morning.
Yeah, and Meredith, by the way, I caught it. She said, Georgia on my mind. Little Willie Nelson reference.
Oh my God, no. It's Georgia native Ray Charles who made that song famous. But as the state's runoff election system demonstrates, nothing is more Georgia than taking a black person's voice and giving it to a white person. And because Georgia on my mind has already been used so aggressively by everyone else, we're naming our segment Why Georgia? After the third single from John Mayer's studio debut album, Room for Squares. It's my favorite song about Georgia in which the devil does not go down there. So, why Georgia?
Voters in the Peach State will once again head to the polls on January 5th to pick their next senators. These runoffs could not be more consequential. The outcome will determine which party controls the Senate. Republicans currently hold a slim 2-seat majority in the chamber. If the Democrats take both runoffs, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris becomes the tie-breaking vote.
Breaking a Senate tie is the ultimate vice presidential power move. That's even more badass than accidentally shooting a guy in the face and then making him apologize for it. Both of Georgia's Republican senators, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, are defending their seats this year, and they're headed to runoffs because no one in either race got more than 50% of the vote. Kelly Loeffler, one of the richest androids in the Senate, and David Perdue, a guy who definitely pronounces it vagina, have joined forces on a unity ticket, competing as a blindingly white powerhouse. They're like the dream team if it were just comprised of Larry Birds. So what exactly are the Georgia runoffs? They sound like a gastrointestinal issue, as in, I ate an expired cobbler and got a bad case of the Georgia runoffs. But actually, they're a tricky little way of keeping black voters and their preferred candidates out of power. The state's runoff law was proposed in 1963 by a segregationist named Denmark Groover, who was running for state representative and not what you'd think, a Norwegian DJ. After losing his race, Groover noticed that black voters were more likely to get behind a single candidate, while white voters often divided their votes among several. By forcing the plurality winners into a rematch, Groover believed white voters would then consolidate behind their preferred Caucasian, successfully weakening black voters' political power. Essentially, he gentrified the ballots, and it's still going on to this day, which explains why some of the voting machines now sell CBD foot cream. Fortunately, with population growing in diverse areas like Atlanta and its suburbs, Georgia has become much more competitive for Democrats in recent years. Voter turnout jumped more than 67% this year, thanks largely to automatic voter registration and the efforts of grassroots organizers and the brilliant Stacey Abrams. Even better, they all still have that new voter smell. It's an understatement to say the results of the Georgia runoffs are important. The outcome will determine the balance of power in the Senate and whether or not Biden's administration will be able to make good on its campaign promises. It could answer questions about the world we'll live in. Will we be able to improve health care? Will we invest in clean energy? Will America be able to continue providing the resources required for Taylor Swift to drop more surprise albums? Or am I going to have to take care of it personally like an Italian Renaissance patron? In order to win, the Democrats face a very expensive fight. Republicans are expected to spend $126 million on ads. When she's not posing with former KKK leaders, Kelly Loeffler's releasing fear-mongering ads that accuse Raphael Warnock of siding with terrorists and being the most radical Democrat on the ballot this year. He's not. The most radical Democrat on the ballot is this bulldog with sunglasses. It's not because of the wicked skateboard. It's because he wants to eat the rich while riding a wicked skateboard. The attacks are so relentless, Warnock started dissing himself like Climax in 8 Mile.
Raphael Warnock eats pizza with a fork and knife. Raphael Warnock once stepped on a crack in the sidewalk. Raphael Warnock even hates puppies.
Get ready, Georgia. The negative ads are coming.
Oh, nice try, Warnock. Real slick. You know who else ate pizza with a knife and fork? Chairman Mao. After Ossoff visited an Atlanta restaurant called Slutty Vegan, Perdue's campaign mocked him by tweeting a photo of himself and his wife in front of a big plate of bacon. It was actually a cell phone because Perdue was dining at Slutty Vegan's rival restaurant, the Do It With the Lights Off deli. Republicans are investing millions in the runoffs because they know Democrats are within striking distance of controlling the Senate. And we can win if we show up. We can't just throw rocks through windows and hope our wishes come true. I have tried that. All I got was a restraining order from Benedict Cumberbatch. Unfortunately, just like me at my court hearing with Benedict, Democrats tend to not show up for runoffs. Historically, in Georgia, the number of voters between presidential elections and runoffs has declined upwards of 40%. The last time voters successfully helped a Democrat win a runoff in Georgia was in 1998 when Lauren Bubba McDonald won. And the time before that was in 1968 when Frank Goober Steak and Shake won. I mean, you might know Frank Goober Steak and Shake from the restaurant he founded, Ruby Tuesday. And though it seems like Dems would need to invest more in persuading swing voters, it's actually more important to get the base to vote.
These runoffs are really about turnout.
It's not about persuading undecided. It's generating base turnout.
And those white voters were so key, white suburban voters in switching Georgia.
Suburban white people haven't been this important to someone else's success since a Christmas shop opened up on Main Street. Winning the Georgia runoffs is imperative if we want a fighting chance to take back the Senate. If you live in Georgia, I'm sorry. No, not because you live in Georgia. Georgia is wonderful. It's the home of great people, amazing food, and it's the place where I once broke the hearts of an entire field trip by drinking up all the free foreign Cokes at World of Coke. No. The reason I'm sorry is because while everyone else got to move on after Election Day, Georgians are being asked to step up and do it all again. But it's imperative that they do. Election Day is January 5th. Early voting has already begun. Absentee ballot requests have to be received by January 1st, and mail-in ballots must be received by January 5th at 7 p.m. And now, as our gift to the state of Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, John Mayer. What's that? He said no? Oh, well, him anyway. He broke Jessica's heart. John Mayer, your body is not a wonderland. At best, your body is a Six Flags. Fine. If you liked this video, hit subscribe and leave a pleasant comment below. Let's ride out the rest of this nightmare year together, okay? Okay? All right.